Good morning everyone and welcome to the Two-Headed Wolf gaming channel as we are beginning a second season in a game called Foundation, which is a city builder game that is set during medieval times and it has all the features that you would expect from a city builder game. However, they put their very own unique touch on it with features like estates, which we will discover more of as we play along. But for now, just know this, that if you are the type of person that wants to get away from building cities in a grid-like manner, Foundation is the game for you. I know this because I am the type of person who feels always forced to build cities in a grid-like manner. I don't know, I find that to be the easiest way. So Foundation has been a breath of fresh air in how I play the games. So without further ado, let's hit new game. They've also added a feature recently, it's still in a beta version, and you can opt in to this update where you can randomly generate or you can generate your very own map, unique maps. And I heard it's really good from the people who have tried it out. I feel it's a feature that is much needed for the never-ending life of a game. But I decided to go in a different direction because I always played coastal or fluvial maps, the maps that have rivers or a water edge, because for once they offer you fish, which is very necessary, especially during events like storms. And the second reason is because I do like building bridges, and I'm just a fan of bridges. What can I say? So with that in mind, I've never played hills. And I said, you know what? Why not try this out? Why not for once just pick a map that has no river, no water anywhere and see how we can make this happen. So we'll play on the hills as in the beginning with no mods. And I am going to be accepting advice here. It's mostly just to pace the beginning rather than quickly jumping into a lot of resources and all that. But we're not going to read the tutorial or anything along those lines. You can pick in the beginning a starting position. Each one of these positions has a source of food in the form of berries. You have stone, and you also have a bunch of lumber that you will be needing in order to, of course, get your city or your village started. What I like to do in the beginning is basically just take a look at these territories and try to envision a city, how it would grow. For example, we have a city center here, right? And there's a hill on this side, so I'll probably put some mills up here because it would look cool in the distance when you're looking at the skyline. And then we have a hill here, then a valley. I'll probably be making a few more houses on this side. And here in the background, a fortress or something like that would look really cool. So that's what I like to do, generally speaking, at the beginning of the game. I feel like this position is probably the best one because I've seen here, this is a starting position and there are some minerals here. In minerals, you'll be discovering different types of resources where you'll be building quarries, making unlimited stone, or maybe you'll discover iron, maybe you'll discover coal, gold, things like that, which would be great for industries. And if I take a look around, I'm imagining that maybe I'll start here. I'll put my industries on this side. We have extra food, we have extra stone. We'll get our minerals, then we'll make residential on this side. On the right, we'll probably put down something like workshops, which don't have desirability penalties, and then build a bunch more houses in this area. And up here, I'm going to construct maybe a castle or something. I don't know. But the fact that we can start an industry area here and a residential area here sounds really appealing to me. So we'll start with this. We'll be putting down our village center. The village center has no real role except for being the beginning depot and also providing you with some villages. It's a spawning area, so to speak. And I'll be placing it down. Let's place it over here. And there we go. These are our first villagers here. You can see that they have this sort of doll-like look to them. It works well with the buildings as well. It might seem a bit weird at first, but trust me, it works. And now we need to construct ourselves. Let's see, we haven't unlocked it, we haven't unlocked yet. We need to build, first of all, a builder's workshop. So this is the first building that we place down. It's cheap, it's built instantly, and it's what you need in order to begin construction. So I'll place this one, I guess I'll place it down here. And we'll assign 3 villagers to it. Now, villagers working these jobs, they will get experience. They will also change clothes depending on what they do. The workers have these more simple-like clothes. The merchants will look a bit better. Of course, tax collectors look as noble as you would expect from them. And you see right now that we're not really building any kind of roads. That is because the villagers will construct their very own paths as they move along. We'll put down the lumber camp. You can see it has a red circle around it. That means it has a desirability penalty to it, meaning that building houses around it would not make people as happy. They will decrease the desirability, so they won't evolve their houses. Who wants to live near a woodcutter for their entire life, right? So we'll place this down. Our villagers will start working, and you can see that the paths are already forming. If people stop walking these paths, they will disappear in quite quickly, I would say, even. And that's the really cool thing about this game. You'll have a lot of natural looking villages as you progress. But once you have a lumber camp, it's not enough to just have it. They won't start working around. You have to set up an extraction area. This will tell people what area do you want your villagers to work in? Where do you want them to extract resources? And we're gonna be setting up this entire area to begin with. You also need to be setting these on berries, and you also need to be setting these on stone if you want them to collect them. It's a simple brush that you use in order to do so. You have also forbidden land. You can tell people not to extract in certain places or walk certain places. If you want them not to create paths in certain areas, you can use this. Good, we got our woodcutters going, so let's bring 3 people here. As you can see, they've already got their axes, and they'll be moving along quicker or soon in order to do this. We have a gathering hut, which we will place down over here. Even though villagers can get experience and they can become more efficient at the jobs, in the beginning of the game, do not worry too much. You don't have enough people to man all of the stations here, so take your time, move people around as needed, and focus later on experience and other things like that. We have some money, we're losing some money from construction right now. We start with berries, some cloth, some wood, and some tools. There's also this. Let me show you a little bit the ledger. For now, let's call ourselves Lord TH Wolf. And rename the village. I have no idea for a name for right now. But if you have any suggestion, do let me know to keep it decent. We have our buildings here. The cool thing about this is that you could use it to assign villagers in this sector. You can move them around. It can show you where they work. And these buildings also appear if they're not already constructed. So you can see that if a building is about to be constructed, it will show up here, which is really great because if you pause the building from being constructed, you can still see it in a way that you do not forget it. And as your city expands, you'll be needing these ledgers more and more to manage. We have a few trade routes, but we're not going to go into them right now. We have a budget. We'll also open tax collectors soon. And this is one of the recent features that they've added into the game. It's a way to make progress through the game, through prosperity. You get prosperity by having a lot more wealth, by getting territory, by trading with the other villagers, by having also population, having splendor, splendor being a way in which you can build like these great buildings or I'm not sure if more beautiful buildings is the right way to put it, but creating buildings in such a way that they are more impressive. And then you have beautification, which is generally speaking just planting flowers, trees, and things like that. Beautification, you need more of it as your population increases in order to stay at the same level. More people, more beautification. Keep it simple as that. And then you have the possibility to unlock a few things. Warehouses, which are used, of course, to stock different materials, and we'll buy this. Bailiff's office, they are used in order to implement certain decision or prospect for resources in these mineral areas, but we don't need them right now. And also wooden bridges, which in this game we don't really need. We have soldiers a bit later on, and you have a general log. You can see that we have a few berry gatherers already collecting some food for us, and we need to start putting down, first of all, a stone collector. Let's see, where is it? We don't have a stone collector yet. What does it tell us to do? Build a granary first. Okay, so as far as the granary goes, given that we are going to make our residential area here, I am going to put down this granary up here. And I feel like we also need stone. Ah, it finally unlocked. The Stonecutter's Camp, once again, has a desirability effect or impact, and I am going to make this Stonecutter's Camp right here. In the meantime, to use the resources that we have, I'm also going to put down a Forester's Camp. Forester's Camp are used to plant trees. If you have a Forester Camp, it is good enough to supply your lumber camp in an infinite amount. And that's really cool because you don't have to constantly expand your woodcutters further and further away in order to get the most basic of resource in this kind of medieval-like games. So I'll be placing down a Forester camp. I'll be placing it down over here. We have some money, we're losing some from construction, but I would also like to get a territory. This first one would cost us 250 coins plus taxes of 5 per week. We'll also get a free resource purchase, a free territory purchase soon. I believe that the first territory that I'm going to get is this one, just to get our houses going, and the second one will be here to get this access to these sources of food. You can see we can also paint a reforestation area. Let's prioritize the Stonecutter's camp here. The berry gatherers, people work in shifts, like they have the time to work and they also have the time to rest and fulfill their needs like water and faith and food and all that. I feel like through this game I'm going to try to balance out the different estates. Some of you do not know exactly what I mean by that, but don't worry, you'll know when you see it. We'll have 2 miners over here. I guess we don't need 3 builders anymore, so I'm going to remove one of them. On the Forester's camp, you can pick the different types of trees that you want to plant. I'm just gonna go with pines on this map. I feel like it works really well. And then we're gonna get some resources and we're gonna have our first granary. which pretty soon will bring us to our very first immigrants. We're at 4 prosperity right now, and we are a quiet town. Your newly acquired land is still getting its bearings. We will need the stockpile soon as well, a warehouse to be built, because we've pretty much hit our maximum on resource gathering. Just look at how cool these animations look. So smooth and everything works really well together. Everybody's wearing like their own type of clothes. And it is very relaxing. I do like playing this game while listening to podcasts. Because it's never too tragic. There are some events which have a negative impact on your city, but there's nothing like tornadoes or meteors or things like that. I do dislike the games that force you to have those events. I can understand the fire breaking out into a village, but I don't really understand the tornado coming through and wrecking half of your hard work. Although I did like it as a kid. I remember when I didn't know how to play games like SimCity, I would just build quickly, I would quickly build a city and then I would have a tornado just run through it, and that was everything I did every week when I would go to these internet cafes. Okay, you, we have our granary ready, we added a transporter, now we're gonna say that you accept berries. Cool thing about this game is when you place this down, you'll also be seeing them around the warehouse or around the granary. So you know from a distance what type of goods are already stockpiled within this area. You can see, and even it will increase in size, in amount of barrels that are here. Looks really cool. So now we're going to define the residences area. What do you need to know about the residential area? Once again, you do not build the houses yourself. At least, not directly. You are not placing down houses. You are picking a residential area and you are painting it with this brush. You can see, once you click on the residential area, it shows you the desirability wherever it is. And people will start constructing their very own houses. Of course, you still need builders to drop by, bring resources, and build those houses, but you don't need to do this work manually yourself. So I'll place down first of all 2 buildings that increase desirability. First of all is the well. You see that it has a green circle around it. Houses do not have to be within that green circle in order to get water from, but it has a more positive effect if people live near the wells. So I'll place this one sort of like a center here. I'll place down the well, and then I'll place down the residential area, let's say somewhere like so. I'll leave this center free. We'll start with this for now. I think I would like to extract these trees right here as well, if we can. So that is it. We're going to construct the well first, and then we're gonna place down a market. And here is where a secondary cool feature about this game is. Markets and a few other buildings are modular. You place down the area where you'd like to be to create the market, for example, and I'm thinking that I'm going to expand the residential area on the right side, and thus I can place down a market somewhere here just to make it the center of the town. And then you have different functions. You can go with free build. Basically, If you go into free build, you have the possibility to be placing down a few buildings, but I'm not sure exactly why I can't right now. Let me try this again. Oh, the market stalls appear now. So you can go with free building and just have yourself some market stalls to build, although I do not know exactly why they don't appear right now. Or you could go on the side of selecting a function from the start, for example, market stalls court, and you place down a food stall. There will be goods stall, there will be some other stuff that you will be constructing, and it will help your villagers get the goods that you want. Plus, you can see that the market has a huge ring of desirability, of positive desirability around it. People will love to live near the market, so you can construct this. And I'll be placing down, first of all, a market stall, a food stall here, and I'll build another one just to have the visuals of it. I'll place it like so. I'll place the markets in a circle, and you also have these rustic market tents, which will increase the capacity of the stocked good by 20. So all the accessories to the buildings have an effect as well. And I do like that about games, because I tend to avoid placing beautification or trying to create buildings in a better way. Like you have in SimCity, the last SimCity game that appeared, you had the possibility to put out a building sign in front of it, which had no use. You would use some of the money to have a sign, take some of the limited space that you would have in that game, and it would have no effect. Which for me just basically means it has no use and I never use them. But in this game, any kind of accessory has a certain role to it. In the beginning, one of these market stalls only offers you a 10 resource capacity. So they'll only, once we sell berries, we'll only be able to stock up on 10 berries, and then people will have to refill the market stalls. But if you place these tents, all of a sudden you will have 30 berries in one of these market stalls, and thus you'll be able to supply a higher level of population before it needs restocking. And I do like that about this game. But since we are a small village to begin with, this is not important. Let's put ourselves a priority on the well, and I also put a priority on the market stalls. The reason why I'm doing that is because if you see here, people have already been placing down their houses where they want to live, and the builders will just generally build if you don't prioritize anything. So it's going to stall the production of water, and it's going to stall the selling of food, and I want that in order to get more people sooner by fulfilling their desirability or their needs, not their desirability. On houses, you can see that houses upgrade both in density and in levels. You can remove the authorization of density upgrade, and you can also do it from here. You can do it up here city-wide, remove their authorization to upgrade or to densify, or you can go house by house and do so. The reason why you might want to do this is just for looks more than anything. There's no special reason, the resources used are the same, but I do like to have an area in the beginning with smaller houses, and so I'll remove the density upgrade. And let's get this sped up. Today's episode will be an hour long, but from tomorrow onwards we'll stay at 30 minutes per day. No workers assigned in the forester. Okay, storage is full here. Still have a lot of lumber to collect, so I'm just gonna expand these extraction areas. For the moment I can remove the ones from here. If you don't know how you change this, the brush size, look at the bottom right. It tells you everything you need to know. You can hold control and do this. Now I feel like I would like some trees somewhere in this area, but I will plant them afterwards. Our happiness is at 26. 29 is going up because we built this well. So partially part of their needs is fulfilled. Yep. Now there are four desirability or four needs that these people have. Water, food, which is berries at this point, but it doesn't matter what type of food you offer them. One type of food is good enough. Comfort, which are houses, and services, which at the moment it's fulfilled because we haven't unlocked the building, which is a church. Once you plop down a church, they will be needing the service as well. Okay, over here, almost constructed this. I don't really use stone that much anymore. Let's see, how are we on food? On food we are at 91. So I would feel that we can take out one of the foragers and we can assign them to being a builder. Right, we don't have any either, no. With 3 builders we will be able to construct this a whole lot quicker. If we would like to build a warehouse for our goods, we would also need planks. And we don't have it right now. Let's see, territory. As you can see, it costs 0 to purchase this because we got it as a reward. 1 free territory to redeem, but also it would cost us 10 coins per month in taxes, and I do not want to do that yet. Don't want to lose money while we're waiting for things. No point in hurrying up. One of the stalls has been completed here, so I am going to take a worker of what? I think I'm gonna take a worker of stone gathering in order to bring them to the market stalls. You also need to assign the resource that you want them to sell. We'll have our very first house being constructed. No need to prioritize this anymore. So they can go around and start building some of the houses. And here is our very first merchant. Better looking clothes. Cool, so the people have started joining in and they'll start consuming some of the berries. This will be great for us. Here is our very first house. And we'll pretty much feel the skyline in the near future. I'm actually thinking of expanding here. I saw this look a few times. I'm thinking about building a monastery complex somewhere around this area, which will bring us also closer to having a few more minerals, a few more mines here. I believe that between these mountains or these minerals right here and these minerals right here, that we could set up our entire industry. I am at least hoping that that is the case. Otherwise we will have to expand a lot further, for example there or here. With people's desirability, or with people, not desirability, I keep saying desirability, but I'm referring to needs. With people's needs being fulfilled, immigration will start to happen. So basically, the happier the people will be, the more migrants you'll get. And that's how you increase your population. At this point, there's no sort of giving birth. There's no increased population by giving birth, it's only by immigration. And you'll see as migrants arrive, they will be creating roads from the exterior. So there are no roads right now towards your city, but they will appear. Which is such a simple feature. It sounds so stupid. It, like, I'm sure that in about 10 years time maybe you'll tell people, hey, did you know that this game has this feature where roads are created automatically by just building your village, like, the roads will form themselves. And there will be people like, yeah, that's normal. And you'll look back to the times where things like this weren't a reality. Although there's something to be said also by placing down roads and try to plan out your city like that. But I feel like at this point there's too many games where that is a reality. 83%. Yeah, we're very close here. I feel like I should be expanding the residential a bit more now that we know like where the market would be. I can sneak in probably a few more houses somewhere around here, somewhere around the market. We'll do something like that. I'm not gonna build any kind of houses here yet. Still have quite a bit of wood and stone. We have some tools that we start with. Anything above these we will have to import for a while. You do need a few industries before you can start creating tools. Cloth is not that far away. Okay, one final house and we'll be at 100% happiness. There it is. Now doesn't this look cool? It is a bit... It's raining a bit. Has like this cool fog effect as well. Don't know how well you can see it on the recording. Come on, immigration. If you start without the tutorials, this goes a whole lot quicker. In the beginning in a way. But I just wanted to sit back and have a chance to explain to people who haven't seen this game before how are the humble beginnings, because it's going to happen really fast, the expansion after this first step. See, so they are creating the roads as well as they're coming in. We have two migrants willing to join us. For right now we can start building ourselves a sawmill, and I will do that. But how will I build it? Let's say that I'm going to make even more food industries here. You know what? Let's buy the territory first. I'll buy this territory. And then we can go over here and we're gonna place a sawmill down like so. Because I'm thinking I'll build a storage probably in this area here. Yeah, let's place it down right here. And I will ask you, the woodcutter camp, to also extract some of the resources here. Just try to clear out this area. Good, we have two new people which we'll accept. I am going to be prioritizing. Actually, there's no point in prioritizing, to be honest, but I'll add a forager over there. And I will put down a warehouse over here. This one has a desirability impact. Gonna be placing the warehouse like so. Would that look good? I think I'll place it down here. There we go. Be it even closer, make it even closer to these buildings. So right now our immigration is high because people are happy, because they do have jobs, and because there is residential space. To increase residential space, you just have to paint a bigger area to, which also means, let me just remove the authorization here to expand in density. To increase employment, you need not only to have buildings for potential jobs, you also need to have people be employed. So if you remove people and leave them idle, they will decrease your employment rate. Happiness is fulfilling their needs, which will increase as time goes by. So once they get a higher level in citizenship, they will need 2 types of food, for example, and 3 types of food further ahead, or 2 types of, there will be different types of goods like clothes, or I think it's just called goods. We don't see them now, the goods that I'm talking about, but you'll see these common wares. Good, got another migrant. We can start working on this carpenter shop. It will take the woodcutter, the wood that we're producing over here, and it will turn it into planks, which we will need for this warehouse. This is our monthly report for the taxes. We've reached level 6 in prosperity, or 6 points of prosperity. Not sure if it's necessarily a level. Okay, they're building another house. Let's put down more residential, and I'll fulfill this area for the moment. It is very important to build houses close to them. You can see that every one of these occupants, now it shows you where do they live, where do they work, and how far are they from their workplace. Sometimes later on this will be a bit more difficult, especially because you'll have builders. If you have a builder camp here, but you want to construct a building over here, remember to start moving your builder camps. Otherwise, these people from here will walk all the way here. They won't have a lot of time left to do a bit of construction before going home to fulfill their needs. So that is an important part of this game as you get further into it. As far as our food production goes, we're still good. Our migration is still high, which is great for us. And pretty soon we'll start to turn into sort of a trading town. I do want to do this type of game. As you can see, workplace in construction. So you can see right here, you can go to the building where it is at. And I find these menus really useful from the last updates that they've brought in. Okay, we'll assign here, we'll say wood. Let's also say planks. We'll assign some stone as well. And finally, I think I'm just gonna go with tools just to stockpile them somewhere. Once again, in these spaces, they will be filled with the different types of goods that you assign, and you will see always what your supply is like. Let's see, planning a trade route. If we go now over here to our trading, you can see that we can unlock a trade route with Northbury, established deep within a thick forest. Northbury welcomes all with a warm heart, and we need 20 planks just to open this trade route. Okay, let's assign them over here to the via transporter. I would love to have a few more people. Now this is occupying, like this low level house occupies only, has space only for 2 people. I think the next level of density has spaces for 6 people. So it is more efficient. But once again, it will consume, any upgrade you're making, it's going to consume more resources. For now, I do like the small level houses. Is that the way to say it? Let me once again remove a builder from here. I would like to produce more planks. Actually, apparently it's not the planks that is a problem. It's gathering wood. We're starting to run out of it because of all the construction that we've done and also the plank producing. Okay, at least we're getting another migrant. And here we have the goods being stockpiled. You can also see the tools. This extra villager, where are we going to assign it? Should we bring it to more plank more plank production? Or let's establish first of all the trades. Unlock trade route. He wants to sell tools for 7 gold coins, cloth, fish, glass, honey, and common wares. And he wants to buy berries, polished stone, planks, herbs, and wine. So we'll be able to sell him some planks. It's really cheap. And then we'll also be able to sell some berries now while our population is still low. Plus we can expand over here our food collection industry. But look at this. Now the trade route is at level 1. The higher level we go, the more trade routes, the more resources we'll be able to sell. So for the moment, we can import up to 30 goods. We can export up to 30 goods as well. And it can only be traded by 12 per trader visit. So it is quite limited. We need to improve this in order to pretty much increase our relationship and get more out of it. For now, what am I going to do? Well, we've reached prospect level with the common folk. We have access to estates now by establishing a trade route with Northbury, which is allied with the labor estate. And I'm going to show you in a second what that is all about. But for now, let's sell planks. Anything that is above, let's say 10 for now. Or maybe actually we could bring it to 20. And we'll sell berries at everything above 100. Now with the person that we have left, I feel like I should be collecting more food. So let's build another berry gatherer here. We have 2 berry bushes, which means that we'll be able to collect from both of them. We have a prosperity of 17, which gets us very close to be able to unlock something new. Once again, high prosperity, high immigration rate. Our trader is coming in, or this trader is coming in. At this moment, he's not really buying a whole lot except for berries, but every little bit of cash will count. I am thinking of establishing an extra lumber camp, which will supply an extra sawmill, and will also sell polished stone as soon as we unlock it. Good. Assign a forager here. Great. Let's take a look at what it modified here. Once the trader came around, you can see that he already bought 12 resources. So we don't have a whole lot more potential here for selling goods this month. And you can see the months over on this side. This village is starting to come alive. I love how this game looks. Really impressive. It feels simple on one side, but it works so well together. The buildings with the villagers, with the surrounding areas. And you can build like these huge towns. A trader came around again. At this point we don't need any more territory, so we're fine. I believe that the next person that we're going to assign... Actually no, we'll maximize the food production and then we'll assign another one to the forester. Because I want to reforest this area, just to make it quicker for our lumber camp to produce resource. A newcomer is approaching your village. Great. Now we have an average daily balance of +1. So we're starting to pull on a bit of profit. We'll have a lot more once we get our tax collectors. The manor house, let's build it. So, manor house, another modular building. And we can assign it multiple roles. Now there are a few things. I'm guessing I'm gonna build it here just because it has a desirability effect. We can build a great hall, which is the first building that we need for a manor house, or we could do free build, which once again, you can place down a few of these models and then assign them roles. But you also can change the roles as you play along. We'll select a great hall for now, and I'm going to place down a rustic hall. You can see it has a desirability effect, which is why I want to place it here to begin with. And one cool thing about these buildings is you can create them, you can make these huge buildings, you can create your very own castle with this. You can turn them around, you can spin them, you can do however you want. You can take another one of these holes and you can press them together. You'll be unlocking more of these buildings, or more, you'll expand on the type of accessories that you can add to this building as you play along. But I do like this function. However, take into consideration that they do use more resources. For example, this would cost us, with 12 planks, 12 stone, and 4 tools. The room size is 7. You'll see what that means in a second. But if we make it bigger, it's going to increase the room size, but at the same time, it's going to cost more planks, more stone, and more tools. So it really depends on what you want to do. But do not be afraid to build the buildings that you want to build. The reason why, and I feel like there's some sort of a hill here, the reason why is because there's nothing to hurt you in this game. You can construct the village that you want, the buildings that you want, and you'll be getting more resources later without much of a worry. There's no point at which you can get stuck, at least not that I know of. Yeah, I think starting with the manor house over here is great. We'll expand on this as we play along. We need a door, of course, and I also need a place, an entrance point where people will drop by. Yep, that is good enough to begin with, so let's construct it. I will be needing some tools as well, and I am thinking that it's probably the right time to start importing some, at least to be up to 10 in our storehouses. Right, so we're going to resources, we're going to tools. We'll say that we'll buy until inventory reaches value, and we say a 10. We're gonna lose 6 right now for this manor house that we built. And this will also unlock our missions and the things that we were going to do with these states. Now, how are we doing on these goods? 5 consumed this week. Two newcomers approaching our village, that is great. It's a great increase in our population. We'll be losing some money now buying tools. Tools are fairly expensive, right? Oh, we cannot buy tools from them? Can we only buy tools from Needle? Oh no, they want to sell tools. They buy tools, but they sell tools for 7. So it's gonna be a bit difficult to make money. We're not producing enough berries right now to where we have a surplus. They've consumed 15 this week. Okay, so we keep running out of berries here. And that means that it's time to increase the capacity of our market stall over here. We could add another villager, but we don't have an excess of villager to keep collecting berries. So I am going to put a tent on this market stall because we want to get a higher capacity, right? From 10 we will get it up to 30. It says here 0 out of 20 just because it's the capacity of this entire market, so 10 and 10. Let's accept these villagers and let's say I want you to be producing more planks, please. I'll have another berry gatherer here. And I will want another berry gatherer here. That will be more than enough, I believe, to get excess berries, which will mean that we can get some money out of it for trading. How many construction workers do we have? I think 2, right? Yep. We have no free villager. People are a bit unhappy because they don't have access to service. Yeah. We will need to get that going as well. Build ourselves a church. Another immigrant. Great. I think they're starting to build a road out of our village as well. Yep. We could even expand ourselves along this road to tell a story. We really want to. Okay, people seem to be happy overall, except this is a house. It's a bit close to the manor, but we'll be okay. Maybe it's going to get destroyed later on, but it should be fine. Come on, 2 more planks and 1 more tool and we're done with this building. Let's accept the migrant here. I'll wait until the berry collector is done. We're making a lot of stone, so I don't care to add anyone there for the moment. Gathering hut has been built. Okay, let's assign one. It's again a forager there. Yep, it's coming along and it's starting to look great. Just in time we get another newcomer, which means for me that I will have a tax collector. Immigration is still high, the next wave will be in 6 days. Do I care to assign it now? Do I care to assign an... Actually, let's prioritize this. Maybe that is a problem. You know what? I think it's gonna pass quite a few days, so I'm just gonna place it in the gathering hut. Right, they'll be gathering the berries there and we'll be stocking them up here. This moment we're not really producing more than 100 because we're selling it most of the time. They're also trying to build like this tent. And as soon as the manor house is done, we're gonna put a cut in today's episode. And we're gonna come back tomorrow where we can continue the expansion of our city. We will start building our tax collectors, and we're also going to get the access to estates. And I'm going to talk about how do we balance things out and how do we go, what achievements are there and what are we going to go for. Because I believe that if we're gonna set ourselves one of those goals, it's going to be interesting to see whether I succeed in it or not. I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I would love to put it to the test. So we'll see if we can actually make it happen. Come on, builders. Maybe we should assign another builder, because 2 is just a bit too few. Okay, there's another house here. And another house here. Oh, so that was the big delay. We have only 2 builders with a bunch of constructions wanting to happen. And I'll assign another builder. The splendor of your village has unlocked a new tier of unlockables. Your people are working hard to improve the land. We've become a busy settlement. And with the final hammers, our manor house is completed, our great hall. And we're gonna come back tomorrow and we're gonna continue the journey from here on out. Hope you have enjoyed it. I thank you very much for watching, and I wish you all to have a wonderful day.